Hello everyone and welcome back. It's the back half of round number 2 at the 2025 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. Fountain Hills, the final 9 holes that we'll see this year on this particular course. Anthony Barela along with Ezra Aderhold, Nick Newton, and Connor Rock all here on our lead card trying to hold their positions because we go to a very different course come round number 3. And once again, Parker Welck on the mic with me. You said it yesterday, Parker. The back 9, very scoreable. Is that still true today, even with the wind?
Yeah, and I'm thinking with these guys right now, they need to fight for their position for going into tomorrow's round and the following round. So you get most of your birdies on Fountain Hills, they're going to be looking to attack, attack, attack. Let's see how many birdies they get. As we get to hole number 10, 310 feet, you're going to be mostly seeing some sidearms. I think yesterday Ezra left this one a little wide. Does he make the correction? Got some claps, look like maybe inside, but towards the pin. You do see a little bit of backhands here, maybe a mid-range or a putter turnover shot, but I think most of these guys will probably end up throwing a sidearm.
I was baffled in watching your round and commentating on that you didn't throw a sidearm.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been practicing the backhand so much that it's just what felt comfortable. And it was honestly a decent shot. I hope you're not scolding me.
Not at all. I was just surprised.
Yeah.
Knowing how good you are at the forehands, I was kind of shocked to see it.
Yeah. Did go sidearm today, though, and put it to 1 foot. So I probably should have done that round.
You should have listened to me. I mean, I'm just saying. Newton is inside the circle by about a meter.
Nick, that was so bad. Come on, dude.
A little scolding for himself.
Yeah, I mean, when there's nothing really in the way, maybe not so much wind, but we do see some leaves kind of blowing there. You really want to make those.
AB with the 4-under effort in the front 9. Attack another birdie on there. Get his back 9 started. Newton left out of the birdie party. I never get invited to those. It's all right. We head over to hole 11.
368 feet. We got OB to worry about on the left if your disc hyzers out too much, or maybe a forehand flips over on you. But you really just don't want to land short right or long left, as those palm trees really come into play, as we saw in yesterday's rounds. We're hoping to get inside the circle and with an open look at that. That's kind of the spot where it's like that short right range. I think you'll have like a hyzer putt. Could be open, but that's pushing pretty close to the spot where you don't want to land.
Yeah, it's usually a coin flip when you get over there as to if you're just in the right position or not. AB juicing it going deep. And he may be dealing with the tree on the other side.
Yep.
Tough to tell.
Yep.
If that just drops.
Great looking shot there. That's everything he wanted out of that. Can't ask for much more.
I was going to say the flight looked great, but then just ultimately the exact spot where he landed. And this is what you were worried about, is the fact that he'd have to possibly hyzer out and around, out and to the right and around the tree, which is exactly what he was focused on there.
Yeah, and if you leave that one out even too far right, trying to avoid the tree, that's when it kind of hits the hyzer on the hill, bounces up and rolls away. So honestly, the miss into the tree is not bad there.
he manufactures the birdie. And outstretched Barela will get to 19. Remember, he started the round tied up with Ezra. Now he has a 2-stroke cushion. A really confident putt. We saw what he had for a struggle on the previous hole. This one looks like he came back normal putting stroke. Really never a doubt.
Ezra giving a little love tap to that tree. I think he made a friend.
Hugging trees out here in Arizona as we head to the downhill shot.
293 feet. There is so many ways to attack this hole. It's kind of just pick your poison. Just go through one of these gaps, and hopefully it stays near the basket. There is some ground play you got to worry about, and I believe we had a right to left wind. It's going to push your disc a little further left than you might want.
I thought that was going to come in too high, but the way it drifted right to the pin works out for Newton. More angle, which kicks up some dirt or sand. Should be short range for Aderhold.
Solid hit. Looks like he was maybe just inside. Otherwise, I see him step those all the time.
Short range, medium range, outstretched. It doesn't seem like he's really having any troubles out there whatsoever with whatever he's faced with, and just a complete misfire there for Newton. Why'd you do that the first time is what he's thinking, right?
Yeah.
That comeback putt looked really good. Ezra for birdie to get to 18, not a problem. Big thanks to our presenting sponsor in Discraft, along with spinners on the green and everyone else that makes this event possible. See a lot of spotters and volunteers out there doing their work, giving us the starting calls as well at both courses. Nearly 400 competitors here this year, and even with the, we'll say, date change that had to take place, things have been going really smooth. And a big thanks to the entire staff for making that happen, as AB just a little short 268, slightly uphill.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see these guys take an overstable disc rather than a understable disc. You are able to throw straight at the pin if you want to, but the benefit of throwing an overstable disc is the lack of glide. You want it to kind of just hit into that front of the hill and kind of just bounce over it and get near the pin.
Quite wide enough. I mean, you still have a putt. You got to hang that one out a little bit wider. Aderhold just inside the circle. Reaching down, looking for a little better grip.
What a catch. I wonder if he's thinking if you got away with one there or...
I'd be kissing those chains.
Uh-huh.
It's not even creepy. All right, just barely over.
How many have we seen from Anthony that look exactly like that? Seems like every single putt's either just barely low in the cage or just barely over the cage.
And that one's on point for Newton. A little extra hesitation there. We've seen some of these putting struggles. Connor to complete the star frame. You know you're having a bad day when you're closest to the pin for a star frame and you're the only one that doesn't make the putt. Kind of a rough go out here for today for Connor. And quite frankly, something that's very uncharacteristic. It feels like every time I have him on coverage, he's doing work, hence being here on the lead card after round one.
Yeah, I mean, Connor is a fantastic player. I think he's at his career high rating. Don't fact check me on that, but I believe that's correct, and he's just getting better and better. As we get to hole 14, 375 feet. With this right to left wind, I think you're going to see players maybe swing it a little wider than normal, have it hit off the top of the hill and shuffle towards the pin.
And way off to the left side, but somehow doesn't go out of bounds. And if you recall, we saw him way over there yesterday.
No.
That one does have enough juice to eventually roll out of bounds.
And he landed in kind of a good spot. It just took a giant flare skip and a terrible roll.
Newton looking for a flare skip, and if you hit that mound or that hillside just wrong, it's going nowhere. There's a real fine line when you hit this mound as to whether it's going to skip and be parked or it's going to check up and stop right there, and we just saw two of those. Barela from the edge of the sidewalk. Come on. AB burying it from way out. And we were just talking about it. I do feel like that was similar to yesterday. We're going to flash back with our friends over at First Light. Look where he was yesterday, right next to the tree. AB with about 110 feet of putting, maybe 120 feet of putting on this hole so far. Big thanks to our friends over at First Light. Couldn't be here doing all the coverage you guys see in Arizona without Dan, Robin, Boyd, the entire crew. I appreciate you. It kind of feels like AB's just in his own little world right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, looking at scores right now, he's playing well, and I think that has to do with like how much he actually plays. You know, he's not afraid to play tournaments during the off season. He's probably a guy I play with the most while I'm out here, and it shows. You know, this is one of his home courses, and he's attacking, and he's not slowing down.
Taking a quick break from the action, and these guys have to get warmed up. A brand new product on the market. I'll start with UAB. What are we looking at?
This is the new Hyzerline disc. It's like kind of a warm-up tool. There's about, what would you say, 30 feet of rope attached to a parachute. And you pretty much can just throw it as hard as you can, and it'll only fly about 50 feet. It's honestly the coolest warm-up tool I've ever seen, and I haven't seen anything new like this on the disc golf market.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique product. This is patented technology that is being worked on so that you can throw it as hard as you want. Jake, forehands, backhands, does it really matter? Is there anything you're learning while you're using this?
Yeah, I'm learning a bunch. It's great because unlike throwing it into a net, you can actually see where it's going and you can hit your lines and pick spots to aim at. So it's great for warming up for a course like Fountain Hills. with less space than maybe the average Disc Golf Pro Tour event or whatever.
Yeah, somewhat limited resources in terms of being able to throw and get warmed up, get your body warmed up.
Absolutely.
But you're really only going, what, 30, 50 feet? Does that hurt your feelings when you throw it as hard as you want and it only goes 30 feet?
No, honestly, it makes it even better because usually I can't just throw it as hard as I want in like most of the fields I warm up in, so this makes it even better.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's pretty cool to see Hyzerline with this brand new product. How can they support you guys while picking up this product?
Yeah, you guys can go to hyzerline.net and you can use code ABJake to support us and also get a 5% discount.
Awesome. Well, we love to see it. We're going to get back to the action, but I'm super happy to see this brand new product on the market, and you can support a couple of great guys. Let's get back to it.
I'm not going to lie. I genuinely am impressed as something that's as innovative as that after all the years I've been playing. We see a lot of ways to do things, but it's a product that those guys have been using all weekend long, and more and more people keep asking about it.
It is so cool. I remember when Jake brought that out to one of our practice rounds, and he told AB to throw it as hard as he could into the water. Didn't even get to the water. So, super, super cool product there.
Oh, no. Not good when you're clearing people out on 16's tee.
How do you start slipping now?
I heard him mention a slip possibly on the tee pad. What do you think about the circular tee pads out here? We haven't talked about that.
I love them. I really do like the shape of them, and it's not like they're small circles. They are gigantic tee pads. You can kind of just pick wherever you want to throw from, and I love that about them.
This course has undergone a number of different configurations, and if you were out here on a different day, not during the tournament, you may see some holes in slightly different spots. And anytime you have a course that might be forever changing and evolving, when you have the circular tees, your options are truly unlimited. So I absolutely love it as well. Does anyone out there have circular tees? Because this is the only place I've seen them. So that's the question you guys got to put in the comment section, is if you've seen circular tees anywhere else. Just a few inches short of going out of bounds.
It was a good tree hit, but after that roll, a lot of putt left there for him.
It's at least 30.
Nick is so impressive. You know, he has like every shot in the game, and then he didn't even jump on that. Just from a straight straddle putt. I don't know how far that was, but it was definitely very far. Straight in the basket.
Some pressure to be put on AB's putter here. This is to save the par. Feels like that rollaway was pretty dirty anyway. I don't think he really deserved a bogey.
Just extra practice for these next few holes.
Love your positive spin there. Here's Aderhold trying to pick up a birdie. A rare chance here to actually get one back on AB, and he's going to do just that. So he'll claw within 3. Connor picks up the par, and we head over to hole number 16. And not too much to this, just 327 feet.
Yeah, really, that's all. I mean, there are 2 Mandos, but they don't really come into play unless you slip on the tee pad or the disc slips out of your hand. But you're just kind of throwing a hyzer way out right and letting the disc do the work, come back left, and you kind of got that backstop on the hill. You're not going to go too far left unless you land on top of the hill or past it.
Nick asking for it to get left. I think it's easier to throw and score on this hill and this hole than it is to necessarily record it. I think we ran into a little trouble with what we call a double punch. So we're going to see Connors. He's also parked. And, well, Ezra and AB are right there as well. We're going to fast forward a minute.
Not missing much, I think.
No.
Everyone probably threw the exact same shot shape.
now is the appropriate time to thank my 2 cameramen out there hustling around, collecting 2 rounds of golf per day so far in these first couple of days. Dustin and Spicy Boy, I appreciate it. Even with the double punch, I make plenty of bogeys out here, so it all works out. As we head into 17.
I think this is one of the more fun holes on the course. You finally get to throw off a giant hill after, you know, being around water and maybe some more technical shots, trying not to go out of bounds. And right now you can just throw it as hard as you want. Just pick how high you want to throw it. 468 feet of all hyzer, or you can flex one up the middle.
Over that.
I mean, if you love the flight of the disc, hole 17 is the place for it.
Mm-hmm.
AB launching it way up there. In fact, far enough that it goes out of focus, but AB is going to have a putt from inside the circle.
And that's also crazy when you think about it. I think that was a Nuke OS, and they don't glide. And, you know, throwing an overstable disc like that, it's literally just straight up, straight down. There's not much glide to it. Like if you threw like a more understable disc, it's going to pop up flat and maybe glide forward. Literally just straight up, straight down, 468 feet. It's kind of crazy to imagine that.
Not much going for Connor, and I feel like that rollaway almost perfectly exemplifies his day and the struggles he's had out here.
He has been all over the basket. It just needs to find a way in.
And not a problem for Ezra. See a couple people chasing up, trying to get onto the leaderboard. We may or may not have more coverage, so I don't know if I want to give you all the details, but there are some people making a charge, and it's going to be pretty exciting as we head over to Vista del Camino for rounds 3 and 4 coming up here on Saturday and Sunday. AB's even framed up nicely here. Shouldn't give him much of a problem here, even though there is the tree on the left side. Sounds like the fountain is just starting to go off in the background. And we have just one hole left before we close out the first half of the tournament, hole 18.
It's kind of 400 feet of just pick your poison. I believe today we had kind of a tough headwind to deal with, so I think a lot of people are going to try to avoid throwing that sidearm and maybe flipping it out of bounds. Or you could put some extra hyzer on it and land a little short. But you see a lot of people also taking that backhand either straight up the gut or around everything to the right. And yesterday we saw Ezra put this to like 2 feet going around everything. Looks like he's doing a little more conservative up the middle play. Off the tree and almost kicks in the water. That would have been a very tough break.
Can AB follow up the 13 and get to, say, 12 under. Currently 3 out in front of Ezra. Oh, no.
I was holding my breath. That curled. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, sit. Dang it. Sit. Sit. Gosh, what a bad shot, dude.
Ultimately sits down and stays in bounds for Newton.
Great shot from Connor. You can see it, you can hear it now. The wind was really taking a toll on them. And I believe Nick's shot actually hit the side of the path, that 1 or 2 inches that it has, and it kicked him right back inbounds.
And it might seem minor, but you're always dealing with the sun directly in your eyes as well, as you're seeing not only off the tee, but during some of these approaches. Oh, no. Newton with a long bogey look. Oh, but he gets it. You got to love the tenacity. I mean, it'd be really easy to just go over there frustrated and just kind of pitch it toward the basket, thinking you just got this nasty roll away. So I give him credit for buckling down. He's going to finish ultimately with a 5 under for today's round. And a rare miss here from Barela today. You had yourself a day, which was pretty awesome to see, and I think we're going to see you joining the lead card action come turn of the tournament here as we head into the second half. Anything you got to say before we let you go?
I am so excited to be being on this lead card tomorrow. We got some great names for you. I cannot wait. It looks like a lead card you'd see on the Pro Tour, isn't it?
It's pretty impressive. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. For Parker Welck, I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and I'll find you in the fairway.